Good morning. Today we will start causes of low efficiency of labor in India. Now in India, what are the causes that the low efficiency of labor is there? This means they are not showing the efficiency, the labors. The first point is the hot climate. Hot climate. In geography you have studied that India is in a subtropical country and the climate obviously is too hot, and this is obvious that if the climate is too hot, people will not able to give 100% because they'll become tired after working few hours. Because of that, the efficiency of labor is very low in India. The first reason. Second one, low wages. Now low wages means in India the wages is very low. Alright, as I told you when I was teaching previous chapter that if you compare our salary with the US salary, it's far less. Because of that, they are in a developed nation, we are in a developing nation. Clear? And standard of living of our labor is very poor. And Indian workers are, not well fed also. They are poorly fed. The cloth is all, we can say the cloth we are wearing, it is also ill-clothed. Alright, all the laborers are ill-clothed. Now these are obviously, they are mentally, they are not fit because every time they think on this topic only, and because of the efficiency of labor goes down. Low wages is also one of the factor. Now come to the third one, incongenial environment. Now, what do you mean incongenial environment? It is not an unhygienic condition. Like the facility of canteen, recreation, relaxation are also not provided in many of the companies. And what happens there? So they eat whatever food they are getting roadside and they are eating all those foods. This means incongenial environment is there where they are working. The factory is unhygienic in condition, and obviously this adversely affect, you can see, the efficiency of Indian labor, the incongenial environment. Now the fourth point is poor technology. Now poor technology, the machines which are outdated and of poor standard, of low quality we are using, and every time you can see the frequent breakdown of machine and electricity is taking place, and this also decrease the efficiency of the labor in India, the poor technology. Now the fifth point is migratory character. This is very important, migratory character. Now Indian workers are migratory. How? A very high proportion of workers usually come to work in a factory from a village to the urban areas. Alright, this is known as urbanization. And when their agriculture activities are minimum, because they are migratory, they are like a migratory bird. The bird, they come in the winter season to our country and they enjoy, because here winter is not severe. In other nations the severe winter is there, they cannot adapt, and because of that that bird migrate to our country. The same thing is there with the labor. When they are not getting any job, or you can say their agricultural activity will be not there, then they migrate to the urban area and they work. Obviously this type of migratory characters lowers the efficiency of the worker. Clear? Now the sixth point is the education and training. Now education and training in India, you will see that the Indian workers do not have the proper education or training as such. Clear? And obviously when you are not trained, your education is not up to mark, obviously you will not able to give your 100% because you are not aware of all those things, but you have learned from somewhere, but you are not well versed with that. And because of that people in South Korea or in China or in Japan, they are well trained from standard 8 onwards, and because of that you can see the efficiency of labor in those countries and efficiency of labor in our country differs, and this is the main reason. Clear? Now how to improve the efficiency? Alright, how to improve the efficiency of Indian labor. Now this is the question. How to increase? The first one, the payment of wages should be fair. Alright. Payment of wages should be fair and prompt. Now, you will not believe, in many places, people when they work, they are not getting salary on time. And even fair salary they are not getting. Teachers, I'm taking example of a teachers working in a 4 school, I'm giving example, maybe Dinobli, maybe Carmel, maybe ISL and maybe JNMS. You ask all the 4 teachers teaching 9 and 10, they are getting different salary. And in few schools, you will not believe the salary is so poor, you cannot imagine also. So obviously you have to give fair payment as well as prompt payment. Then only you can improve the efficiency of Indian labor, because they will think, yes, we are getting salary, good salary, then they will work. Clear? Second one, working conditions of worker should be improved. Clear? You will have to improve the working condition of the worker. Why? Because just now I said the incongruent environment. You will have to change that. You will have to give them the RO water, canteen facilities, relaxation center, everything you will have to provide to them. Then only you can see their efficiency will increase. Otherwise, as I told you, that these are the incongruent environment, the low is a cause of low efficiency, that you will be getting. Now, the third one, social security. Alright, social security means you will have to have insurance facility for them. You have to contribute on behalf of the workers in a PF provident fund. They should get pension after retirement. All these social security, when you will take of the labor, that labor will think, no, I'll have to give my 100%, because if the company will remove me, I'll be not getting pension, I'll be not getting the PF. Many things are there, they will be not getting all these benefit. If this fear will be there, they will work very nicely. Otherwise, when you are not giving all these things, they are not afraid. They can leave and they can go job any moment. Clear? Now, fourth point, very important, hours of work. Now, hours of work means, see, from one worker you can take maximum 8 hours. Alright, and you should provide other facility like holidays, leaves means casual leaves, CLB say. All these things you will have to give to the worker. If you are asking the worker to come every day, alright, and to work 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours, it will be very tough for the workers to work, and you will not able to see the efficiency change. Efficiency will go down, because hours of work, maximum 8 hours you can take. Clear? Now, the fifth point is a technical education. Now, technical education means you will have to provide the facility to all the workers to expand, alright, their knowledge. You'll have to ask them to go for technical education, as government is asking all the teachers, even in the private school, they have asked that they will have to complete at least DLED, alright, or DED we can say, diploma in education, because we are BEd, and if they are not BEd, they should complete at least DED to continue teaching in the school. Why? Because technically when you are sound, you will be able to give your 110%. Otherwise, somewhere you will be lacking. Now come very important topic, division of labor. Now, what do you mean by division of labor? Division of labor means specialization in work. Specialization in work. This means you are specialized in a particular field. Suppose if someone asks me, sir, in Dinobli, which subject you are taking? So I'll have to tell that I am taking economics. Why? Because I am specialized in economics. Clear? So like that, division of labor also, that the worker here would perform only those activity which he or she is most suited. This means this subject suiting me because I completed my masters in economics, I will teach economics. So this is known as specialization of work. Now come types of division of labor. Types of division of labor. Clear? Now division of labor here categorized in many ways. The first one is known as simple or product based division of labor. Now this is the first one, simple or product based division of labor. What do you mean by this one? See, when a person or a worker, when they are specialized in the production of a particular commodity I'm telling you, alright, like the blacksmith, the cobbler, the washerman, you know, they are perfect in one job. Alright, in one job they are perfect by profession. Now, they are known as product based division of labor or simple division of labor. Clear now? Understood what I said? When a person is specialized in the production of a particular commodity or rendering services is known as product based division, and somewhere it is known as simple division, somewhere it is known as occupational division. Clear? I'm writing here, or simple division, or you can see somewhere it is written occupational division. Occupational division. This means all these are same terms. Clear? Now second one is a complex or process based division of labor. Now, what do you mean by process based or complex division of labor? In this system, the total work is divided into small steps, and each specialized function is undertaken by an individual or a group of individuals to make a final product. Again, I am repeating, in this system what happens, that whatever work is there, they are categorizing into different steps, and different steps will be leading by different individual or group of individuals to give you a final product. Clear? Now this is again divided into two parts. This is again divided into two parts. First, complete process of complex division of labor, and the second one of this only, it is incomplete process of complex division of labor. Clear? Now one by one we will discuss both. Now first one is a complete process of complex division of labor. Now in this system, the total work is divided into part and then sub-part, so that the product of each part is able to provide a product in a complete form to the next process. Again I am repeating, in this system, the complete process of complex division of labor, in this process what happens, the work is divided, the total work is divided into part and sub-part, and after that, why they are dividing? Because they will complete their part and it will be passed to the next process. Clear? Like example, the work of spinning, weaving, sizing, bleaching, etc. are done with a different process, because one fellow is spinning, someone is weaving, someone is sizing, someone is bleaching, and by the different workers, and such that finished cloth is made for use. Clear now? All these processes together will give you a cloth which we are wearing. Now come incomplete process of complex division of labor. Now in this system what happened? The work is again divided into different processes and sub-processes. Clear? There what I said, the work is divided into part and sub-part. Here I said part and sub-part. Clear? And here work is divided into process and sub-process. Clear? Process and sub-process. After that, to give a commodity. Take example. Maybe a garment factory is there. One person takes the measurement, the other is cutting, the third one is sewing, fourth one is putting the buttons, and the fifth one is ironing it, and so on the work goes on. Clear now? Again I am repeating, incomplete process of complex division. Here what happened, the work is divided into process and sub-process to give a commodity, the final product. Like, as I gave you example of a garment factory. In a garment factory what happens, one person is taking the measurement, the other person is cutting the cloth, third one is sewing it, fourth one is putting the buttons, fifth one is ironing it, and like this the process goes on. This is known as incomplete process of complex division of labor. Now, to be completed, now come to the third one. Third one is horizontal and vertical division of labor. Clear? Horizontal and vertical division of labor. The first one is horizontal. Now what is horizontal division of labor? When the process of production is divided into different parts in such a way that the different part of the process can run simultaneously, side by side, the work is going on. This is known as horizontal division of labor. Like, suppose a car factory producing car, alright, is a very good example of horizontal. Why? One company, you can say one body part someone is making, side by side someone is making the nuts, side by side someone is making the tire, side by side they can make the rim. This means all the work goes simultaneously. This is known as horizontal division of labor. Now come the vertical division of labor. Now what is vertical division of labor? The successive stages of production. Alright, one after the other, not simultaneously. The successive stages of production of a commodity is called vertical division of labor. Like cotton textile. Raw cotton first has to be transformed into yarn. Till that, you cannot do anything. This is the first process over. That cotton, you'll have to transform it to yarn. After that, yarn will be woven into cloth. So you will have to wait for the next step. But here in horizontal, side by side, your work will go on. Clear? Now the fourth one. Fourth one is international division of labor and national, or you can see division of labor within a country. This means international division and national division, you can say. Now international division means, in international, none of the country in the world have the power to produce everything for the people of their nation. Alright, it produces only those goods and services which find advantageous to produce, where they will get more and more benefit, that only they will be producing it. Clear? And other things they will have to import it from other country. Clear? This is known as international division of labor. Again I am repeating, international division of labor means where country cannot produce all the product, they produce only those products which they find it is advantageous to produce. Other nation, they are dependent. Why they are dependent on other nation? Because they will have to import many commodities which the consumer of their particular country they need. Now come division of labor within a country. This means in your own nation. Sometimes due to some reason, what happened, the production of certain goods take place in a particular place or state. Now, in your own country, let me tell you about Maharashtra. Mumbai, it is good for textile industry because the soil is like that. After that, Bengal, it is good for jute industry. Alright, suppose UP, it is good for sugar industry. Now this means division of labor within a country because due to some reason, like I told you, soil is one of the reason. Alright, the production of certain goods takes place in a particular place or state. This is also known as geographical division of labor. Alright, this is also known as geographical division of labor. This is also known as why? Because geographical, the place we have selected, the state we selected to produce certain goods. In next class, we will start advantages of division of labor.